Hello there, it's me again and welcome to another video. I do appreciate your comments and your likes and subscriptions, so don't forget to keep on hitting that like and subscribe button. Really means a lot to me. Okay, what have I been doing? Well, yesterday I got some Railmatch sleeper grime paint. I got a couple of pots of that from the online sources that's available these days to us all. And I got the airbrush out about an hour ago and I decided to really weather up my track on the layout. I wasn't satisfied with the finish. It was far too bright for my liking. I'm very much a weathered track fan. I love weathered track because it's like the real thing out there. Unless it's a brand new piece of railway that's been relaid over the weekend on a possession job, where it's got the modern concrete sleepers and the shiny ballast and everything is nice and spick and span. That's all right if you like that sort of thing, but I'm an old school guy. I love the old railway lines that have been well used and are just really naturally weathered, because obviously it's designed to be outside. Unless it's in a tube tunnel, it's covered in brake dust and dust and stuff like that. But out in the open, normally railway track over a period of time will change in appearance and colour because it's been out there in all the weathers, and obviously it collects dirt and grime from the locos, rolling stock, brake dust, and that's really what I like a lot. On my last layout, Bentley Park, if you look back on the channel, you see my old layout. I really did have a lot of weathered track. Well, it was all weathered, basically. So what I've done this morning, I've just really toned down the ballast to a nice dirty weathered colour on these curves here, for example. We start up on the curves here near the pub. As you can see, I think that looks much better. Going up to the points, I've given that a little bit of a weather as well. And also in the little bay platform, I've gone over that area. All this area here was all light grey. If you flick back to the previous videos of the layout, you'll see that was all natural ballast grey colour. Now I've really toned that down, and the sun's shining on that at the moment, but it's actually darker off camera. But as you can see, I've done that area there, which makes it look a bit better, I think. The point work I've really toned down as well, because it was, again, bits of light grey ballast were showing through there and I wasn't happy. That looks much better in my opinion. That's all done there. I'll come through with the camera and show you. Again, it looks a little bit crap because I've got to buff the top of the rails over once it's dry properly with the track rubber, and that comes off. So that's easy to do. And on the other side here, behind the signal box, I've weathered that area. I've given it all a good, nice weathering, so I've toned everything down, because it looked a little bit odd, because where the tree is here, in this area, again, go back to my previous videos, you'll see it. There was a contrast between light ballast grey, new ballast, and old ballast colour and weathered here and there. It didn't all match up. And there's a reason for that. It's because I ran out of bloody paint at the time when I was doing it. I didn't have enough. But now I caught up on that little project, so I think that looks much better. And it will look nice once I've buffed all the rails over, and it will look a bit more nicer. I think it does anyway. Carrying on, obviously, up towards the level crossing. We'll stop at the crossing. As you can see, I've brought all that in with some sleeper grime via the airbrush. I've done the other side as well, and then if we pan round this way with the camera, that looks miles better, doesn't it? I think it does look better. Yeah, it looks better. I've done the 6 foot area, which is the area between the pair of tracks, the 6 foot. I've gone over that as well with the airbrush, and the 10 foot, which is where the trees are and a bit of scrap rail. Done that round there. But the staff halt is, I've done that area. And the most offending part of the layout that really used to grind me when I used to do the videos recently, really used to tick me off, was this area right here by the signal box, because it was grey ballast with nothing on it. It was just bare grey ballast as I'd laid it, and it didn't look very nice. But now I think that looks much better because it's all nicely weathered. And we've carried on round the curve. This was all quite light grey, and that's all weathered, the ballast around there, and the whole track around there is all weathered now, as you can see, up to the station ramp ends. That's where I've stopped. But yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah, vast improvement, I think. I've left the station area through the platforms deliberately as they are. They are weathered, because I did weather them when I actually laid the whole track and layout, but they're not overly weathered. As you can see, there's bits of lighter coloured ballast through there, and I've done that sort of deliberately because on a real railway, if you look out the window when you're on a train and you look at the pair of empty tracks next to you when there's not a train there going by, the track isn't always the same colour. Even if it's weathered, there's different stages of weathering. Some track might have had fresh ballast put on there. I know, because I've spent hours shoveling the bloody stuff, and it's different in texture and colour. There's different piles of ballast, different grades, different colour ballast. Where you got new track laid or new ballast laid, it obviously varies in colour. So it's sometimes you can get different grades of weathering. It's not always the same tone. Some's darker, some's light. It all depends. But that's what I've roughly tried to capture. I may go over it again at another stage and bring in some more tones and that. But as you can see from that shot there, from where I'm standing looking down at it, I'm bloody well pleased with that. I think much better. Excuse my expression, but it does look much better. It just tones everything down, makes it look less shiny and new. As I said, you might like shiny new track on your layout, which everyone, each to his own. But if you're going to model something accurate, especially in the steam and diesel era, it does look nicer, I think. So yeah, just a real quick update there from me. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this camera off, get it uploaded, and I shall buff up these rails. And then the next video, we'll have some trains running. We'll get those lovely BR coaches going. And we'll also, most definitely, before that happens, we might even do a video of the last item to come as part of my recent birthday. So when that arrives, I'll definitely upload that. But in the meantime, have yourselves a good one, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.